I appreciate you. Thank you. So let's do some photos together. Okay, great. Ask if you like. Here, just start here, and then there's a couple others here. I appreciate you. Thank you. So let's do some photos together. Okay, great. Ask if you like. Here, just start here, and then there's a couple others here.
Okay. The Phillip Siddiq Show, you guys. Ruth, Negga, Mill Valley Film Festival, 44. You were here with us with Loving.
Yeah.
And everyone from Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. remember you as the woman in the flower dress.
Yeah.
Okay. What does it mean to you to star in this particular film? Because it's a controversial issue, passing.
Is it
Yes.
controversial?
Yes.
How? I'm not sure.
People making choices to. Okay, let me see how I can word this. I don't know if it was their blackness, but crossing to the other side to get ahead.
Well, I think it was an exile, and it was people refer to it as the self-exile or a chosen exile. But for me, I feel like it was a decision made, taken not lightly, to divest oneself of really one's life, one's origins, one's community, in order to pursue opportunities, access to opportunities, whether that be economical, uh, just access that was denied people because of their color of their skin. And the irony is that they could pass as white, so But I feel like it's definitely taboo because it was shrouded in secrecy for hundreds of years because it was destabilizing the status quo, really. Because if you can't tell who's black and who's not, then really it just makes a mockery of race as a construct, doesn't it?
This is so true. And I mean, it's been, as you said, taboo, and it's been like a quiet secret. I know in my side of the community, it's been a very, very quiet secret.
Well, I mean, maybe because it's had to be because of safety reasons, because it's one of those things that there was a conspiracy of silence around, and that's the legacy of many things. And really, it didn't need to be a secret, but it had to be because people's lives are at stake and at risk. I mean, you could, we the 1920s when this was set there was so much racial violence occurring in America at that time, and it was legitimized in law essentially, and people turned a blind eye. And so passing for white was a very risky venture, and I don't think anyone took it lightly. And it was a severing of oneself in many ways, a severing of one's youth, one's culture, one's community. And that's a cost. That costs people a lot. And I think we can only imagine the psychological cost of that. But then you think that, and then you think, well, people are passing for various things now, aren't they, and hiding. And I think, Rebecca's film is very much about identity and truth, and, really how sad it is that the truth of one's identity and oneself can be so demonized.
Right. And it's so challenging because every second of every day, you have to make sure you don't slip up. Because as you said, you could be attacked.
Yeah, that's such a great point because, to be honest, what makes me angry is the amount of space, time, energy racism takes up in a person's of color's mind and imagination. The constant scanning of a room. Am I safe? Am I safe? There's a whole scene in our film where my character Claire talks about safety, and that's all she wants is to be safe. And essentially, that's all we all want. But 1920s America, for black women of color, the world wasn't safe, And even when she's passing, the fear of getting found out and what the repercussions would be at that is terrifying. And that the psychological toll on that, that's. I think our film can help people understand that. I feel how many dreams were shattered and lives shattered because having to deal with having to have your brain occupied by racism.
And you can never sleep.
Well, no, you can never rest. And, you know, and then you can't dream. And that's what I feel people were robbed of. Not only their lives, but their dreams. That makes me angry.
Working with the cast, working with Tessa, how was that for you? And I say this because you two have share a DNA of Marvel.
Yeah,
You, Tessa, and then Rebecca too.
yeah.
So how was that? And her being a first-time director, you worked with a lot of directors. What was special about her where you said, I'm going to take this project on and I'm going to trust her?
I think her passion, her fire. I remember when we sat down to talk about it, and I just saw a woman with a vision, and I knew I wanted to be part of that vision. Um, and she could see it, and therefore I could see it, and that's who those are the people you want to work with. And she is such a gentle director, but also specific, and I feel that she just has a shorthand with actors. She's an actress herself, and she understands and she trusts actors, and she understands the cost as well. And therefore, she's a great support. And then Tessa and Andre and Alex and everyone, I mean, that's a great ensemble cast, And I think that we all knew that, and we all kind of, I don't know, there's a lovely energy when you can just like, I don't know, the chemistry is there and you can just play, and that's just, there's no better place to be.
Ruth, you still are as popular as ever. I saw the people asking for your autograph. You're still great. All the Marvel fans. Ruth, thank you so much. Give me the wrap up. Thank you so much. Thank you. The Phillip Siddiq Show. How are you, Nina? First of all, congratulations on getting the award because not everybody gets it. You got it. How happy does that make you feel? And you brought this project here.
How happy it makes me feel is because I'm a producer of color. It's really, really, really rare. And because I feel like there are not that many of us out here in the trenches fighting for stories that showcase talent of color, narratives of color, and this one being so culturally significant to African American literature. Nella Larson's from Harlem Renaissance. We want to be able to show this movie off. I mean, it took what 90 something years to get here for the book. The book was published in 1929. So having this movie premiere at Mill Valley is a dream because my heart's in the Bay Area, being here from Fruitvale Station, and sorry to bother you. And for us to come here and get this, or for me to get this award, oh my God, it means everything just on the representation level. It's huge for myself because it feels that I'm actually pursuing a career that is sustainable. Where when I was younger, I didn't think I could do it because it's not in my culture to pursue producing. So it's super meaningful.
And working with people of color, but this particular film is going to generate a lot of discussion, I'm sure.
A lot of discussion, and we want that. There's a lot of, every time we have screened the film, the audience members have so many questions and they talk amongst each other, hours and hours of dialogue of who did that and what does it mean to this person, that person, and everybody's background is reflected on how they respond to the film. So but I'm just like so thrilled that you'll get to see Tessa, you'll get to see Ruth just at the peak of just monstrous performance, and I don't know, I'm just excited that I'm getting.
You're gushing.
Yeah, I'm just excited I get to be part of this because the space I'm in, people always say, no, that movie isn't going to work, or that's too hard to make, or there's no international value because you have talent of color. And Forrest Whitaker is my producing partner. We have proven over and over again that it's wrong.
Wait, hold on a minute. Who's your producing partner?
Forrest Whitaker.
Okay, say that again.
Forrest Whitaker. Ghost Dog. Ghost Dog is my producing partner. Yes, and for us to start this company 11 years ago, and our first film coming out is Ryan Coogler's Fruitvale Station. It set the mandate. set the mandate of what we want to make, and is to continue championing revolutionary, visionary filmmakers that can tell stories through the right lens. So, yeah.
I'm looking so forward to seeing this because this was a well kept secret in the Black community. Because most of us had somebody who, well, that's Aunt B. She can only come visit on certain day, and then that's it. And the struggle to, as I was talking to Ruth, to keep that nothing from coming out, to expose yourself.
Exactly. Well, many did it by choice because of certain privileges that you can gain that weren't given to the Black community, but also putting themselves in danger. So there's the conversation is still happening today with many of my friends, and they like you said, they're like, well, my aunt or my uncle, and it's in the South or in New Orleans or my Creole friends, they'll say, oh, that's my relatives.
Quadroon parties and everything.
Yeah, so I love that I get those responses from everybody because it just tells me how relevant the topic is. But then the movie actually goes into deeper layers of passing. It's not just about colorism. It's so many things, so many elements of that.
The things that, okay, I'm going to do this to get there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you so much. And congratulations again on the award. You're welcome. Thank you for.
Thank you. I've lost my pocket. There it is. I've been looking for it.
Everybody, the Phillip Siddiq Show, the Mill Valley Film Festival 44. We have Rebecca Hall with us. First time director, and I'm sure we're going to see much more from her. Welcome to the festival. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's so great to be here. I'm really, really thrilled that the movie's out.
So glad you're here. Before we get to that, you, Tessa, and Ruth have like a DNA running through you. You all been in Marvel films. Yeah. That's what they have in common. Talk to us about the film Passing.
Well, it's a film that I've carried around in my head and my soul for close to 13 years, and now it's finally on the screen. It's based on it's an adaptation of a Harlem Renaissance novel by a woman called Nella Larson. It was written in 1929, and it's shockingly contemporary and nuanced and daring and kind of radical in its simplicity. It centers on the emotional lives of two Black women, both of which are light-skinned, and one of which has crossed the color line to live her life as white, and the other one is living in Harlem as a Black woman.
Now, the question will come up, my audience will ask, I'm sure you've heard it before, why is this white woman directing this film about Black women?
Yeah, well, I'm passing. So, my grandfather was Black. He passed white. I have probably not by my own volition been passing my entire life, but it's a complicated inheritance, a family where there's passing. And when I started this process 13 years ago, I didn't even know for sure that that's what my grandfather was doing. I now do. I understand a lot more about him. I also know about his father, who was an extraordinary man, who was a race man and, was born enslaved in Virginia and ended up in government at the White House. And it's been a long, long journey of discovery for me personally, as well as creatively and emotionally. And it's got my family to a place where we can talk about this thing that has been hidden and shrouded, because it necessarily is, because a family wants to protect. And these histories are very erased, honestly.
Ruth and I were talking earlier that people who pass, there's so much, I would say, anxiety, because you have to watch any little thing could trip you up and you can get hurt.
Absolutely. And I can't imagine what my grandfather went through. He passed white, but he also passed for Native American as well. So he was living several lives in several different spots over the country for several different reasons. And it was, of course, incredibly fraught. And I think that fear, that what you're talking about also, transcends into the children of that person and the children of that person. So I feel like it's something that it's solved a lot of mysteries for me, psychologically speaking.
Now, what will you take away from this project, since this is your first time directing? What will you take away as far as how's this project changed you, and talk to us from a heart connection about this.
It's changed me in so many ways. It's difficult to put it into a soundbite or a kind of small phrase. It's just too big, honestly. But principally, I mean, it's given me voice and a way of expressing an aspect of my identity that I was felt complicated about and now feel very clear. I think the truth is I think the easiest way to say this is the legacy of passing in a family is that you inherit an awful lot of the shame and none of the pride of being Black. And I've got back some of the pride.
Rebecca, I could talk to you every day, but they're giving me the wrap up.